Page 18, smooth and crunchy. 4/4 time. It's got one sharp in the key signature. Looks like it's in G major. Take a look at the right hand. At the beginning, it starts with a rest. You gotta love it when it starts with a rest. It comes in on the and of one. One and. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So you're playing on the and of the beat, and that can get tricky for a lot of people. Those first two notes you play are on the ands of the beats. You gotta rest, move down, same rhythm. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now you got another half rest, so you got a little time to move up here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and. Now fingering wise, you can go ahead and stay in this position and finger that F sharp by crossing over the thumb. That's okay. Another way of doing it is, rather than using second finger on the A, crunch up and use fourth. Then you don't have to, you're right there in position. You have to go back up, but you got plenty of rest to do it in if you want to do that. It's an alternate finger you can try out. You have to decide, but whatever you decide, stick with it. Then the next measure, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. It's rather repetitious, isn't it? It's just kind of the same rhythm with different notes. Until the end, the last two measures, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. And again, you can stay in this position and just cross over the thumb if you want, or scrunch up and put this fourth finger on the A. And the reason I'm suggesting fourth instead of third is because if you use third, you got to use thumb on that key, and for people with fat fingers, that doesn't work very well. It's fine. You can do that if you'd rather, but I prefer fourth finger on here. This will serve you well in a lot of situations and other pieces. Left hand, half notes down here, A, G, and then here, in this position, pretty much, and you're staying down here the whole time. Not a lot going on in the left hand. You got half notes in the eighth notes, second line, second measure, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. It's got rests in there too. Put the hands together, let's see what happens. Here, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. That's weird, the second measure. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Second line, last measure, watch out, it changed. It didn't look like it changed, but it changed. 1 and 2. See, the left hand comes up on 2. Now we got rests, not half notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and... Once you can get the notes and the rhythms and the fingering worked out, go ahead and put in the articulation, the staccato. Light, short staccato, you can use a wrist. I like the finger, it works well in this, just a nice light pluck 'em. Now here, lift up in the left hand before you play the eighth notes. So those sides, so at that measure. Now it's staccato in the left hand, legato in the right. I like this feeling, this changing about, because that provides contrast in music. We like contrast in music. Repeat after me. We like contrast in music. I wish the rock music or the music of today could use some contrast. Last line here. And the last note is staccato in both. Don't accent it. You have to be careful on that because you tend to want to accent it, and don't. Just put it in the dynamics loud. In this case, well, it's really the right hand that you want. So keep the left hand sort of medium loud to medium soft in that range. And then in the second line, second measure, you go down. Now, if you've been playing this about medium loud, medium soft range, then you need to come up to the loud to start it. That's loud. Then you go down to medium soft there. So the second line is. Now it's medium soft. Last line, second measure, you go back up to loud. You take the whole measure to do it. Don't get loud to the last measure. Tempo, it says with relish. I'm not sure what they want. Relish? Pickle relish? What kind of relish? You want to relish it? They do give you metronome markings. That helps a little bit. So if you set the metronome, this is after you learn it. You learn it slow and gradually speed it up. So 1, bum, 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 like so. Like that's my impression of it. Other people would interpret it differently, and that's fine. That's fine. Let's play it very slowly together to double check the notes and the rhythms. I'm not doing dynamics here. I'm just doing notes and rhythms and articulation. I'll give us 4 counts. 1, 2, ready and go, and